seconds remaining. It's Dire's turn to pick. It's Radiant's pick.
Invoker.
Game 2 of Team Secret versus Hellbear Smashers coming your way here at Dream League Season 15, powered by Intel. And this second game, we talked about the first one, saying, hey, if Beastmaster was not part of the equation, this game might have looked very, very even. And fingers crossed that Beastmaster won't be part of the equation, because it definitely looked a little bit on the broken side, even though it was also just great plays coming out from Nisha. But this time around, yeah, it is first big go on the way of Hellbear Smashers, and Team Secret does not want to have to play against Beastmaster, but a very surprising first pick coming out.
Strange.
Well, they do it.
They played a lot,
yeah,
but
they first pick it from. They've done this before, right?
they first phase pick it.
Sure.
Not first overall pick, and I am like, it's not something that would have gotten banned, I think, either. Like, Team Secret
against Stormstormer
didn't ban that.
It's his best hero.
I just have a hard time believing it's worth it, because if it doesn't matter only if it's your best hero, but I think the hero also has to be like really strong in the current patch, and I think the water runes, they just don't help him at all. I think the rework to Invoker is kind of irrelevant in terms of like the fact that they gave him stats when he levels up his orbs, rather than, and they nerfed like the bonuses of the individual orbs when you have them activated. I just think if you're a mid laner that doesn't spam spells with bottle, you're not necessarily a meta mid laner. It doesn't mean you can't pick them, but I have to believe they're more situational. And with Invoker, the way Stormstormer usually plays it, as far as I've seen, is that he goes for the Quasic Zord and he maxes out those Forge Spirits and buys the potential Midas Boots of Travel Ags kind of build. And that's just a pace of the game that Hellbear Smashers, I think, is comfortable with. And Team Secret says, no, this pace of the game is going to be as fast as possible. We're sprinting right at you.
Yeah, I'll be surprised.
Bounty or gyro.
I feel like he's got to go for the Causeway Switchblade sort of build up. Otherwise, yeah, he's going to get run.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Stormstormer do it. It's like, I agree with you. I think he'll have to try to match this a bit, but I don't know if they actually do that.
In the first game, the Team Secret played against Team Nigma. They also went for the Bounty Hunter Gyro, and it was a Zai Bounty Hunter and a Matu Gyro. That whole series, though, and a Jungle Venom, correct. That whole series was played ultra super fast by the side of Team Nigma. So that should be something that hopefully Hellbear Smashers has learned from, because that's, that is at the moment the way to beat Team Secret, surely.
Yeah, I think matching the pace is a huge part of dealing with Secret. What I liked last game was that they did have really strong dual lanes. The Tusk Medusa and the Sand King Lina coming out from Hellbear Smashers. Like, they have aggression potential. They force reactions to anything they're doing. So Team Secret can't just do their standard efficiency all three lanes while also ganking you with the likes of Yaps or Zybe. And this time around, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this Willow pick. I think Bounty Hunter needs to have... There needs to be like a Spearbreaker-esque, an Earth Spirit hero that you see the Bounty Hunter on a ward, you TP in, you catch him. You punish the fact that he's running around all the time.
I do feel like I've seen the Hellbear Smashers a few times with their drafts. It seems like they're straying away from the Earth Spirit, and I don't know why. Maybe he's just not feeling as confident on it as the moment. Sure, obviously heroes like the Gyro can be pretty irritating. You miss your roll or you get in on top of him, you're going to die to the Gyro's damage output, but...
He's not out of the meta or anything, right?
No, I think absolutely still perfectly playable.
Yeah.
Just for whatever reason, something that Hellbears have seemingly strayed away from, even though I think they've got a very proficient player in the lineup.
Interesting Sven ban. I guess it makes sense. The Warcry AoE armor against the Gyro is seemingly the concern for them there.
Yeah, well, because to get buffed up, the talent got buffed. You've got that extra.
You have two talents now, I think. One that gives you more and one that gives you more duration.
Yeah, so... I mean, if anything, maybe Secret's sort of saying something there, saying, hey, teams, if you're losing to Gyro, Sven is good. so something to definitely take note there for other squads watching.
And they actually banned the PL as well. In the past, Gyro was a PL counter, not really the case anymore. PL doesn't really have to go in. You can just spam him down and burn his mana. Gyro heavily reliant on the mana. The way that Gyro scales is the Ags Satanic, right? You have maybe a maelstrom or a butterfly thrown in there, depending on what you built there. But you want to have the opponent either have to commit onto you, or they lose their buildings, or they have to be not able to burst you. That's one of like the two options. And PL, probably the best non-committal carry in the game right now. Even though they nerfed him, I think the shard build is still pretty insane.
You think they'll still take out the Wraith King as Ace's comfort hero?
10 seconds.
If they don't have a better band in mind, then yes, that's what I think they would default to that.
But I don't think a gyro minds playing against a Wraith King.
If they go Wraith King Invoker, man, they're just gonna get ran over.
I don't think Secret. I don't think there's a chance they might not care if Wraith King's left in. So
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be.
But if they can't think of anything else, then you are perfectly fine to say, okay, that's his most played hero. Let's get rid of it. I want to see that jungle Veno again. No ban.
No ban.
I respect him
No.
for the puppy Veno.
Let's see what else did they play there with that. They had the Lion for Yapsor and the Mid Doom, indeed.
Mid-Doom, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Mid Doom could be.
First is Invoker?
Didn't win, but I mean, Doom always is nice conceptually against the Invoker. You jump him, and yeah, good luck casting any spell.
I'm thinking Kunkka, man. I'm thinking Kunkka.
I love the Nisha.
Nisha Kunkka is a special. It's great against Invoker. They nerfed Quas regen, so I think the Tidebringer will add up too much. It gives you the catch against the Willow. The pace of the game sits really well with the Gyro and the Bounty Hunter.
Super nice
matchup
with the you can't run from Bounty and Kunkka. You know, track X mark. They're gonna catch you.
So they go for the offlaner instead, and so it is not going to be an offlane Bounty Hunter.
No. A Yapsor Bounty Hunter then more likely.
You never know. Could be Puppy Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Jungle Bounty Hunter.
Hey, who knows?
Down.
It could be a Nisha Bounty Hunter, you know?
You have a free crit every like 15 seconds. Why
you time
not?
them well, yeah, sure. Nah. Unlikely, but you can never count it out.
I feel like, Brian, would you like to see Hellbear Smashers get some sort of offlaner that's going to be able to build like maybe even the Crimson, the pipe against the Gyro? You know, something like that.
Something like a Nabat?
Well, this could be the support.
Yeah, Tofu most likely.
Yeah, it's almost it's against the Bounty Hunter, I think. They're saying that they need somebody that sits behind the cores that are going to be in front. Just removes the track. And the missile coming out from Gyro. This is a game where you can probably use shield pretty reliably. You're not going to have anybody get bursted or anything yet. You also, they're delayed stuns, right? You can kind of see them coming. And that is now a 5 Bounty Hunter, I believe, is what they are officially declaring that as.
Yep. It just went down a pecking order after the Centaur and the Rubik pick.
Yeah, Rubik Centaur is a classic. Lift into stun in lane.
10 seconds.
I'm a bit surprised by the Centaur just because they have Invoker who usually roams on Centaur pretty early. So I think this is really Secret being confident that Stormstormer will not play that active Invoker role. And like the Quas Wax really good against Centaur early to mid game.
Yeah, no, for sure. You've not got a lot of mana to play with at all.
The pace of the game that Secret's representing here is so scary. I think you need a really strong laning carry against the Centaur. You don't necessarily love ranged heroes because, yes, they're good at harassing him in lane, but the Stampede to close the gap on them later is...
Going with the Deucer again. I mean, you said it yourself last game. He had a good game. He was farming incredibly well. I mean, is there a reason to sort of believe that Ace isn't going to be able to have that same sort of opening?
I'm curious because the way Centaur is getting played right now is a 1-1-4 skill build, max retaliate. And a lot of people, the ideal build is to just rush a Vanguard, where you go maybe starting items straight Vanguard. And I'm pretty sure against this lane he can do just that because they have virtually no kill threat on him super early. And then once he gets that Vanguard, he just doesn't give a crap. Like he can just... You take the tower because the tower does no damage to you, 60% of the hits. And the Medusa, I just think... Against Centaur, you don't want to play the farming war. You don't want to try to out-farm him because Centaur is a very greedy offlaner. The games that I've struggled on Centaur are the games where either my other lanes are getting ran at, and I feel like I have to react, which Centaur doesn't want to do, or that I'm just getting shoved out of lane by the likes of like a lifestealer or something. So I think Secret, once again, despite the fact that they have this really fast tempo, I think they're pretty greedy. I think this lineup's very greedy. Like you have a Bounty Hunter 5, Centaur is a farming offlaner, Yapsor, obviously we know him.
10
I don't think Hellbear Smashers is prepared to deal with it, so we'll see.
What do you make of the brood ban?
I guess against Evoker, like, it's always been a cheesy hero. They can't deal with it at all, for sure. But I don't know how the timings work nowadays, since you don't get spawn spiderlings until 6.
Yeah. And apparently Hellbear Smashers doesn't want to find out.
Yeah, they don't want to find out the hard way on that one. Cap doing a little dance. Get down tonight. Okay, Kyle, you're ruining it.
All right, last ban from Hellbear Smashers. What is a hero that you do not want to face when you're playing Invoker mid? Is there any kind of curveball possible, by the way, with that Invoker, or is that just because Stormstormer? It's one of his most favorite heroes, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly like the TA ban. I think Seeker can get away with playing the greed game, where lane dominating farmer. I still think Kunkka's the pick. I still think it's very good because he's really strong in lane against Invoker. He's capable of making moves, but I also think Secret's going to be completely content for like the first 9 minutes of the game until track comes online to just hit some creeps. And I think they're fine with that. And Medusa's not going to be ready for this 5-man run at you 11, 12 minutes in the game. She does not deal with that. Invoker, I'm nervous that there's just too many cores that want to get ran at here. Abaddon has too much defensive duty to do. They need it's like you need an offlaner who lanes well against Gyro, but Gyro's one of the stronger safe laners right now.
I want to see some beef. I mean, where's the Underlord nowadays? Does this hero not sit well in drafts?
I saw Layla's flaming the hero.
Really?
He's like, man, this hero sucks. You don't know what to buy, anything, like you don't feel good. There's the beef.
Definitely beef.
But you're against a ranged hero in lane, so the counter helix relatively underwhelming when it comes to the laning stage. So I'm very scared that all 3 cores of Secret will just get as much farm as they want on the map, and the Medusa is going to be one like her against the world. And
5 seconds.
I don't think they chose to ramp up the pace here on Hellbear Smashers. You were saying how that's what Nigma did to beat Secret. I don't think they've done that at all here. I don't know if it's the right approach.
Oh, look at that smile.
I literally played Axe into Tinker yesterday. That matchup is so bad. Oh my god. I was like, oh, it was terrible. They do play for the greed game though. It's not necessarily the lane dominator. I don't think it's the best against Invoker just because the cold snap catches you out. But Bounty Hunter Tinker, man, it is insane. You just track people and you spam them with rockets. It's a classic combo. Dirty. It's actually a classic combo.
At least you've got the Abaddon to remove the trap.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They've got something.
But Medusa Axe, like, they need you to go on them, or like Axe needs a target in front to go on. You know what I mean? Nowadays don't have it. So I think Tinker is a real gotcha pick here.
How do they catch this Tinker?
What is because I remember previous season, a lot of times people were talking about Tinker, like, when is Tinker gonna come back? How good is Tinker at the moment, just in general? Like, is he buffed?
I think he's way better than he has been in the past. I think it's the pace of the game. It's the way the mid lane's much more about farming now. It's much more about just spamming spells and getting bottle charges. It lets you get that boost. I've seen like 8-minute boots of travel on Tinkers. Okay. So I think I really like it.
Because the speed of Hellbear Smashers, Owen, maybe not really there.
No, I feel like Hellbear Smash is going for sort of a bit of a similar pace as last game. It's going to be sort of all in on the Deucer. I think they've got better things to enable the Deucer this time. They've got good protection with the Willow. They've got the buffs, obviously, from Alacrity and the protection of the Abaddon. So we might see a similar game where Ace is kind of keeping the team even in farm. But overall, yeah, you got to look at like these heroes, Tinker Bounty, and getting the Matu Gyro was banned out against him last game. It gets let through this time. I think that already is a big worry for me. I think Matu Gyro this patch, I think it's going to be unbeatable. All
right, well, we're going to find out how this game is going to play out, and if maybe Hellbear Smashers can force out the 3rd game of the series. That's right, I can count. We're going to head over to a commentary duo of Cap and Kyle.
We can also count here on this casting desk, because it's 1-0 right now, and Kyle, it's kind of looking like it might be a 2-0 with this Tinker Bounty Hunter combo that they got going on in Secret.
They did him dirty. This is gross. I mean, you ban out the Beastmaster's Secret, and you think, okay, perfect. You're going to have to play real heroes with cooldowns. And then they pick the hero in Dota that can reset its cooldowns, also abuses stacks. And, yes, once again, Stormstormer, your Quaswex Invoker, in theory, you'll be able to hunt this Tinker, but you're the only one who can.
Yeah.
Axe playing into the missile and the march spam is nigh unwinnable. And later on in the game, you just farm everything. It's once again a slow draft from Hellbear Smashers. They have no stuns, like legitimately no stuns. And a Willow Abaddon. Like, you just don't really kill. And yeah, I know you'll say, but they have stuns. You know what I mean. Point, click, that guy can't move for a bit.
Yeah, no. They, it's definitely not going to be easy for them. Are you a Tinker player, by chance?
No, never. I tried. Was just not good enough. It's one of those heroes that you need to be either incredibly talented, which I was not, or have the wherewithal to practice spamming buttons, and you know, my fingers would hurt after. Like, it's the same reason I gave up on the piano. I'm just not dexterous enough, and I don't have the discipline.
That may be the most distracting taunt I've ever seen in my life. Like, visually speaking, that is just insane. All right, we're going to have an early fight over the bounties here. Matuma Man daring to go up the high ground here with Cold Snap is going to have to maneuver his way around the brambles. He will survive, but does cost him his healing salve for a 2-2 split. Tofu needs a little bit of help here, but it's much different for him. He's the 5 position, so he's a little bit more okay with trading off.
Puppy and his bounty hunter, man. He loves playing this hero. He's going to hunt so many couriers with Zai is very brave.
Yeah, they do manage to land the 2-man stomp here, and Ace is quite low, and they're really laying the damage into him. Puppy might just be able to finish him off. He knows he can't run. Ace is just standing here because he's got nowhere to run to. Oh, the snake, the first blood, they get it, and Puppy's dead as well. What a turnaround, Smashers.
I think Zai and Puppy successfully made sure that all 3 snakes hit both of them. Otherwise, that might go a little differently. This bottom lane will be a bit tough, I believe, for Rasmus, but he's going to spam out the Battle Hunger for deny already for the Tinker. That is one of the most annoying heroes to lane against. And yeah, watch this. He's going to Fairy Fire. Zai has no stun for 6 seconds, but walks up, hits once, and I'm like, okay, Zai's going to back off. No, he actually just, it just didn't work as expected.
Yeah. Oof. All right, double kill for the Smashers. Already starting things off pretty hot. You know, I actually played 4 games of Tinker recently.
Yeah, I saw you. I was going to ask about that. I'm not going to say you were playing Tinker support, Cap.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
I was playing it because a professional player was playing it, Kyle. And I like to experiment and be on the cutting edge of Dota, so I know what I'm talking about.
Who was playing it?
Okay, you may not have heard of him, to be fair, but he did win TI 2 times in a row.
Was it No Tail?
Yeah.
Okay, No Tail. No Tail also is quoted as saying anything can work.
Anything can work. Yeah.
You know what? We'll see how they do later today. All right.
It turns out that hero does feel really strong when it works.
All right. Well, hey, if he's listening, you know, we're seeing them play in like an hour or 2. So No Tail, you know, break out that Tinker support.
I would love to see some more of it.
Because I don't think Cap won any games.
Anyway, no. I actually won my games.
Okay, fine. Mid lane, this is the trouble. We don't see Tinker very often, but it's one of the most annoying to deal with just because of the blind. And then later on, you're just going to spam your march, as you can see him doing right now. Arguably even better after the changes to the runes, because you're going to grab the bottle and immediately be able to grab runes.
Yeah.
And it just, one of those heroes, much like Lina and Beastmaster, you turn mana into enemy damage and creep kills.
Yeah. And the camp is still close enough for him to be able to farm, so he's going to go ahead and stack it, go over, pick up the bounties. He's full health, full mana.
That is a really annoying taunt. You were correct.
Yes. Like, it may not be some of the, like, the, you know, the
oh, jeez.
It's not that, but, like, visually, it's insane.
Visual warning.
That's the thing I want to talk about is heat-seeking missiles, like, insanely powerful.
Yep.
80 mana, 125 damage, and it can hit 2 targets. Pretty crazy ability.
Oh yeah, he's being super efficient. He farmed with March there because he had wave on his own high ground, so he was able to clear the entire easy camp as well.
Zai having a bit of a rough lane. That's what happens when you give the enemy carry first blood. Double kill.
Yeah.
It's also what happens when you're playing a melee offlaner against a ranged carry.
Yep. Although I have been told, we were discussing in the shuttle on the way here, the Vanguard buff to Centaur makes the hero just absurd, according to BSJ. You ignore damage, and if somebody wants to you double edge him in the face. So that will be, once again, what he's rushing. It's what everybody's doing in pubs. No boots, no build-up items, nada. Just Vanguard. As soon as you have it, good luck. Puppy, thank you. 35 gold each. That is so nuts. And the spam bottom is actually really tough for Matu to deal with.
Deny the gets rid of the battle hunger. Tell me, man. Please.
He's out of regen. This is rough.
Yeah, this is a little rough. Speaking of who's out of regen here, Nisha blows all of his spells because the MP was going to hit him anyway, so he might as well pump some damage out.
So really, it gets better for Invoker because the EMP starts to be more and more effective, but you know, there's not really much you can do to Nisha just spamming March. Soul Ring will be the next item. He had queued up bots, but I think that this is the right choice. You have to get Soul Ring on Tinker, especially after the changes.
Yeah. It is all important for this Stormstormer Invoker to be able to do well in lane because he is going to be the best hero to be able to hunt down this Tinker. So you see the stacks are building up. Nisha may have missed that last one, but this time around with the Quaswex Invoker, they've got a hero to be able to go in. Rasmus, they're going to be able to pick up this kill. Nice pickup there. Big difference there between the Axe, who's able to play active with Battle Hunger and get in your face, and the Centaur, who, you know, your build on Centaur is to max retaliate and just farm. So you aren't really a threat ever to the enemy carry.
Indeed. Oh, nice bottle refill though. Yapsor doing his part for his Tinker. Unfortunately, will be EMP'd immediately, but yeah, they're doing a great job bottom. I love the build. Rasmus with the adaptation, 2 points Battle Hunger, and then Gilgert just 2 point Shadow Realm. They're spamming damage. And oh, nice gank. This might be enough.
Yeah, it's very important for them to be able to pick up this kill. Look at even Puppy's coming over. The double support rotation into the mid lane in time for the power rune as well. So they're going to guarantee a refill here.
That's the huge part. They push the lane, so Tofu, he TPs, but doesn't feel comfortable looking to go check a rune. That is huge for Nisha. He even got the kill.
Oh, they got him again. Matamba Man, not many places to run here. That Brambles is really well placed. Now Gilgert is taking a lot of damage here, and he may end up going down first. Matamba Man doesn't get the kill, so he still has the Battle Hunger on him, and his spin will bring him down.
Yeah, you'll take that trade, but really well done there to continuously pressure Matu. Look at the CS. Rasmus is enormous. Almost outpaced the Tinker there for a second. Matu is at 12 CS. That is unbelievable. He is below his 5 position, barely ahead of the enemy 5. This is not good for Team Secret. Luckily, Tinker's really their win condition, but the guy who's going to need to deal structure damage is this Gyro. But, you know, Matu always able to adapt. He'll likely move into a more just active role, especially when Puppy has track up. And rather than, you know, try and farm with Flak in the jungle, take stacks, let Tinker deal with the waves, farm as much as he'd like, and get out. Yeah, exact level 4 even. He's going to just try to make moves.
Yeah. You see him farming the easy camp. You know, the bounty hunters here. And Ace does have some wand charges here. The TP in from the Abaddon will easily save him. See if they can maybe keep their tower alive. Yap Store. He's just trying to kill what creeps he can because he knows he is done for here. Tries to juke him out.
Might be successful. Get legs.
Well, I don't really think he can really. There's nowhere really for him to hide, sadly, and he can't outrun Rasmus. So there you go. It's nicely done by Tofu pulling the creep wave back. It actually pulls Matamba Man into a knocker position here, and Matamba Man's just dead. He's going to be chased down. The Coltsat may have run out. The shield pop is still possible here, and they actually do get him. Tofu picks it up there with a miscoil nuke.
This is a scary spot for Team Secret, though. That you have the Tinker, but Rasmus is getting large enough that, you know, Vanguard's already up, so he doesn't really fear anybody, and closing in on the blink even. This is looking very solid for the Smashers because you still have the Dusa. Your carry is going to accelerate, and while I like the concept that Secret just used there, bringing Matu top, pull him to your strong hero, get the hell out of bottom, especially when there's a Vanguard hero in the lane. But where does he go now after that death?
Yeah.
Level 4.
No, it's so good that Stormstormer TPs to defend that tower, right? Punishes Matamba Man. They keep it so there's just no place for, no lane for Matumba Man to feel comfortable sitting in. He's going to be mid lane for now, but it does mean they're giving up bottom.
This is the right move, though. This is really your best move. Like, the top rotation fails, so mid is the safest place on the map for him. And thankfully, Nisha playing Tinker, he's very comfortable just going to the jungle. He'll spam. He's got rearm prepared, soon to have bots, and then he'll be playing both side lanes, and Matu will take wherever is most secure. Yapzor gets rid of the battle hunger. Well done, but he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to be... Rasmus certainly doesn't care about the tower shots. Yapzor is literally just trying to kill whatever creeps he can before he is very likely to die here. His brambles actually don't catch him, so Yapzor's good.
For context, the change to Vanguard was the block percentage from 50 to 60%. Every time you proc, you take 0 tower damage, and the regen is enough that 2 miss or 2 get blocked, you're regenerating the damage from the one that hit.
Surprise rotation. Gilger, wake up. Goes for the Curse Crown. Managed to still find Yapzor here with the rotation coming in from Matumba Man. He does have his level 6. This would be a massive kill if they can get it. He has the mana to TP out now if he wants to, and he's going to go for it on the high ground. Matumba Man, he doesn't have the damage to kill him fast enough. Meanwhile, Gilger, he's kind of stuck. Shadow Realm up in a second here. Dodges the Shuriken, actually. That's quite nice. Unfortunately, Zai is just going to keep pace with him and can't really TP away. So
no.
He just beats away his life to the tier 2. No big deal.
Playing Nisha does have bots. The whole game is now on his shoulders, and we don't see Tinker very much anymore. There are reasons for that, but we will find out in this game whether or not it has been buffed enough to be a true game winner as it was of old. Matu, thankfully, is 6, so we'll be able to get a little more involved, but right now, you just can't do anything as this secret lineup. Your draft, we've even seen core bounties that look kind of weak, because it's like, what do you really buy to be effective in team fights outside of a Solar Crest, which is medallion queued up already? There isn't really a playmaker. Sure, Centaur might buy a blink at some point, but Zai is still the full 2,000 plus sold away. Rasmus is going to take this ancient stack and then have his. Nope, saving it for Ace. How generous.
So this time around, what's that, 10 stacks to 12? So it's actually Hellbear Smashers who are taking a bit more advantage.
Yep. There's the blink. Rasmus Blade Mail queued up next. The right choice. Super effective against Gyro and Tinker.
And Tinker, yeah.
But you got to take towers. That's the key.
Yeah.
From I've talked with Moon Meander, Excalibur, any of the. There's very few Tinker players left, but they all say the same thing, which is the way to beat me is to take my towers. Otherwise, you never will. Once I'm farmed enough, and suddenly the map shrinks for you because it's so much easier for the Tinker player to keep both side lanes shoved and then allow his team to make moves off the access to more information. Tornado, nice.
So this may be, oh, they're really going to chase after him. Telekinesis into the stomp. Don't have any detection, so he's just away. Home free. Meanwhile, mid lane is going to be run over now. Matumba Man, he may have died, but if they could trade out for Rasmus, it'd be okay. The heat-seeking missiles aren't going to be enough by themselves, though. As Rasmus does have that blink dagger to be able to disjoin. Gilger playing the front lines, has Shadow Realm up, so.
The blink pickup is just going to do so much work. You've got this huge edge now as Smashers. A big window where your initiator can find kills with ease. Meanwhile, Zai, you saw there, has to blow Stampede immediately just to be able to get in range with a stun.
Now, it seems like a general strategy that Secret are employing here against Medusa. They're actually continually trying to outscale the Medusa and also get a lineup that plays long team fights against the Medusa, right? Like last game they picked up the Beastmaster, does that in spades. Now we have the Tinker, very similar concept that we're talking about, right? He lasers the Medusa, he constantly wins sustained battles because he can just jump back and forth. Do you feel like that's going to be effective?
I haven't seen Tinker enough to really be able to judge it. I'm more concerned about the team, because in the previous game, yeah, Nisha was huge, but the rest of his team was quite valuable. This game, Matu is a shell of himself.
Yeah.
And you don't really ever feel good this far behind against the lineup of the Hellbear Smashers. They have all this counter initiation. You're susceptible to He'll be going for an Ags, but he'll have to rely on solely his jukes to keep himself survivable in team fights. Already a Manta on the Deuce, and he's rushing Ags.
Just what I was waiting
Cool
for.
choice.
Yeah, we've seen this a number of times now. The Mystic Snake turning into stone.
What was buffed in the last patch from 1 to 1 plus 0.3 a bounce to 1.5 base duration plus 0.2 a bounce. So effectively to 1.5 second stun. That also increases the physical damage you take by 40%. That's pretty damn strong.
Yeah. Still not quite the point and click stun that you wanted, right? Just
Eh, no, it
you
counts.
could blink,
Sure.
tinker, but
It's a stun.
You mix that with cold snap or a tornado catching him, and yeah, it's adding up.
I guess the mana shield changes were quite nice from 2. Just a free bonus mana Ice Frog added in.
Tofu, not quite forced to use his ultimate there. All right, so you got the towers. Took away the safe lane tower, took away the mid tower. What's the next move here for the Smashers?
For now, you can just hang out. I think you wait for the next timing. Blade Mail Axe and Ags on the Deuce. Secret want to get out a little earlier. They just finished their blink on Zai. This is typical of Secret. They get any sort of window, they're going to smoke and just try to make something happen.
Puppy leading the way. Gilger being the best hero to see on map right now, but it's not something they feel super good about going for here. Maybe with the vision laid out by Puppy deep inside the triangle, they can get some better ideas.
Puppy going for his age-old strategy. It was so annoying playing against him when he did this as bounty. He'll ward. Yep, he'll ward specifically for couriers.
Got him.
He'll lose that ward, but he did this constantly. One in your bottom side, one in your top side, and he would play in between tier 2 and tier 3
This
for the rest
time
of the
they
game.
have the dust, and this time
Nisha?
Stormer actually dead. They're gonna push him back with a deafening blast, and the Tinker does he have Blink Dagger yet?
Yeah, he does.
No,
He
he's
got
really
clipped by
close.
the deafening blast.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't able to get out
Fair enough.
and continue the pursuit. He's really just not as farmed as you would have thought. I mean, 139 CS is impressive, but you know, the Deuce without any pressure can farm fast as, if not faster than the Tinker. In fact, oh my god, 216 CS.
Yeah. I mean, I know you weren't a fan of them picking it up, but like there was nothing wrong with what Ace did last game, right? They just got Beastmaster.
That, yeah, and to be fair, the game was even. They were down 16-5.
Yeah.
So the fact they're willing to stick with it means they may just be on to something in the sense that perhaps this hero has received too many buffs. The axe change is quite significant. 50% more stun duration is pretty nice. And the bonus man on the mana shield, just basically free survivability. In addition, I think Dire side, it's so much easier to stack camps now and farm efficiently that in a free game like this, you probably feel even better than you did on previous patches. Bots on the Invoker, I like the decision. You know, you feel like this game's going to take a while, and bots are quite nice against the Tinker. Somebody's got to be able to move around the map. Also means you'll always be able to set up kills with your Axe, who's quite far ahead. Puppy's dead.
Just what I was waiting for.
He was thinking Courier. Stormer thinking about hero kills.
Very nicely done by him. Gets a kill, pushes out that top lane. He can still be bottom if necessary. Tinker shows up somewhere. We're certainly giving Gilger a lot of room to be able to farm up as well, which looks like he wants to go the shard. I would kind of like to see a faster Blink Dagger from him. Just because, I mean, you know, it's like Synderen said, when it's an Alchemist game, it's an Alchemist game. And when it's a Tinker game, it's a Tinker game. That's like the entire focus of this game is just going to be hunting down the Tinker whenever you can. Nisha. Oh, Gilger. Up. Okay, they spot him now. Shadow Realm goes off, trying to hide. But I think he's surrounded a little bit too much here, sadly. No escape for him. Stormer shows up, but it's a bit too late to do anything here.
That's worth it for Secret just because the track gold that comes in. 4-man track. Puppy pocketing an extra 130 to allies 40.
All right. Shows up with the Aghanim Scepter. He knows he's really strong at this point in time, and he catches an early kill onto the Rubik immediately. And Ace continuing to feel like he can't really be challenged too much here. They're going to poke at him. Down to half mana now.
You can't touch him.
No, not with an event behind him especially, right?
Really nice Manta dodge. That was a Rubik's stolen Cursed Crown that he juked with ease and then was able to finish off the kill on the Apsar. Rasmus, yes, standing in the march.
You know, I hate that little mini game that you play with Tinker. The march is going off, and you quickly try and coordinate, like triangulate. Okay, the edges of the march is here. That must mean he's standing here. And then you go to that spot, and he's already blinked away.
That was one of the most tedious aspects of Dota, and what eternally left me frustrated were these tree games. You know, Monkey King, I'm so glad was not in the game and I still was playing it professionally, because it just drives you nuts. You hunt through the trees. There's no real tool to acquire vision other than the couple luxury spots where you can ward the high ground. So you're just guessing. Like there's really nothing you can do other than buy a Shivas, which I believe at some point Rasmus will do, mostly just to get that vision.
Maybe I can sell you on a Dota idea here, Kyle. See if anything comes of this. Is they're gonna just straight up? I am a big fan of teams when they're strong enough, just backdoor tower.
Oh yeah. Especially
like instead of trying to like recover the lanes, anything like that. If you can take the tower, if you're not afraid of a team fight, just go take the tower. Now Stormstormer is being left kind of alone here, and Zai is thinking about it. He's gonna go for it. See if they can burst him down real quick. The team behind him in telekinesis, the toss over. Now the snake is gonna give him a little bit of room to work with, but he's still bursted down. Nisha claims the kill. A bit greedy there from the Hellbear Smashers, leaving just their invoker to try and take that tower, and a great read by Zai taking advantage of that situation.
I hate to throw blame, but I think Tofu's got to be a little more diligent there. I understand you want to hold hands of Dusa, but you got to be backing up the man hitting the tower. That's the guy that's, you know, you've got a ward underneath you. You need to be playing around the area of vision that you don't have. It's a free kill on Rubik. No biggie, but it just feels like Secret. They're a little lost. Matu has recovered a bit. He's in spitting distance of the Invoker now, but very behind the Dusa. Has the Ags, BKB next choice, so he'll do his part to try and scale. He just needs so much time. It's really just Nisha. There's the Ags. The Shrink Ray is pretty significant. The Ags was good before this additional benefit was added. The size shrinkage isn't super important. It's more that you reduce the current health by 15% and the extra 400 cast range for your laser. So, you know, if Aether Lens comes out next, which typically we've seen, it's a little less effective now. It's just simply the most value item for the Tinker.
Now, I thought Tinker was, ooh, nice blink dagger.
90 gold
there.
each. 90 gold. And they never got that ward. Wow.
They will get Puppy, though. Stormer. Revenged for the loss of his blink dagger, or momentary loss anyway.
Smoke move bottom, though. Secret doing what they can to exert map pressure. Arguably, really, the only European team that can relax during this season. Say what you will about the performance of the major. Secret is like 99.9% guaranteed to attend TI as a direct invite based on the points they've already accumulated. It's the rest of the teams that are starting to sweat. Notably, I believe the two we have coming up next, Alliance and OG. They cannot afford to snooze. And I'm sure Secret, they play with pride. They don't want to drop any series, but this game is looking like an uphill climb.
Yeah, Secret currently sitting at third with 850 points. So, considering the fact that they're very likely to get some points out of this, I cannot imagine a world in which Secret does not get top 4 here in this division. Just that alone will.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. Rasmus, he spots a gyrocopter. Doesn't actually go for the blink immediately. Goes for the blink on a Zai instead. They're just choosing to focus on what is an easier kill for them. They see a hero that's totally out of position. Rasmus does not get greedy with it. Now they're going to, as a team, push forward into the jungle. See if they can find more. But of course, Secret will have been long gone by then.
Man, that Willow Shard is so good.
Oh, yeah.
That is, it actually just makes the hero viable. I didn't realize it spawned even if you dispelled the crown. Like,
effective HP versus physical damage. 16,000.
Wow.
Deuce is a funny hero, man.
That is absurd. But yeah. Good luck. Thankfully, Tinker, you know, at some point, yeah, I figured Hex queued up. yeah, it might be 16,000 damage, but if you just keep him hexed the entire fight, preferably the entire game, you should still have the damage to kill him off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Part of that stat was showing the effectiveness of magic damage, specifically against Medusa.
Wands their middle tower.
And Tinker got a nice combo of magic and pure, so.
Well, the one benefit is, the thing is, pure damage is actually less effective because Mana Shield absorbs damage before reductions. So technically, all Mana Shield absorbed damage is pure. It's just that afterwards, the real HP damage is then reduced by the reductions. And Medusa at 27 plus 6 once your solar crested armor. It is a lot of physical resistance, 66%. And the Scotty completed, so damage output starting to stack. You went for the Mystic Snake cooldown, no surprise. 7 seconds on that spell now, and of course it turns everyone to stone. 1.5 seconds at a minimum. Oh, they found Storm.
That is a big pick off. They need to be able to burst him down a little bit quicker before he tries to jump away into the trees. Missile. It's going to hunt him down. It's going to catch up to him eventually here. And a simple little bonk will end his life. Puppy caught next to the tier 2. Secret still out on the map here as they're doing what they can to be able to keep this creep wave pushed in. Now, Zai, seeing a Dark Willow, thinks that maybe that's a target they can kill when they can, but you can see Secret is just desperate right now to push whatever lanes and like dodge fights and get pickoffs. They basically don't want to be in a situation where Medusa is hitting the high ground confidently with an Aegis.
He should changed up the build. Went for Aether Lens before Hex. I think because he realizes there's no chance you're actually killing him at the moment.
Yeah.
Like you need more levels, more farm on your allies before you're actually a threat. You're going to just be forced to spam spells from the back lines. And as you said, defend the high ground.
Yeah, you're going to need to be able to laser ace without being caught by a brambles or an axe blink initiation.
Yep, and you can see that's already the plan. The trouble, the one flaw I see in the current meta is that even with the buffs to MKB, there's nothing you can do about mischance against structures. Like, there's nothing to itemize for.
Yeah.
So in this sense, we're probably in for a long game unless Nisha makes a mistake. Because as you saw, plus 400 cast range from the Ags on laser, plus, was it 300 from the Aether Lens 225? What do you do? Like, it's 625 range bonus. That's nearly what do you do? Because you can also spam it on illusions and then it'll still hit the Dusa.
Yeah.
You can't hit towers during this time. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to do. You could BKB and hit it for a bit, but then you're susceptible to being turned around on. There it is, the MKB, but man, we're in for a long one. Even with this 10k lead, Hellbear Smashers still have to play relatively mistake-free.
Ace approaches with a double damage. Secret, they don't want any part of that. They were grouping up, seeing if maybe they can get a pick off here, but Matamba Man spotted by the Sunstrike. Rasmus commits. They do have the Stampede to allow them to be able to reset here, and immediately Puppy grabbing what creep waves he can. Zai may try and burst it down with double edge and get out, but if he does, he's gonna get caught. Immediately kills a creep to get rid of that battle hunger, but Stormstormer's here, so they've got a wealth of disables to make sure he's held in place. He's not going anywhere. Gilger, okay. What? They didn't kill him? Stormer. Oh no. Well, at least they're going to be able to kill Puppy.
But the thing is, so he got 90 gold for kill. Yeah. 81 for the bounty each. 90 gold each for the courier kill. Puppy worth 282 gold. I'd say Puppy's happy with that trade.
Oh yeah, certainly Zai. He had a near miss in the bottom lane where Stormer ran out of disables and then still ends up dying right in front of his tier 3. Now Hellbear Smashers. A couple of pickoffs like that. See how they structure their high ground push.
The waves, man. The wave. Look, top wave is in the tower thanks to Nisha. Bottom wave, thanks to Zai and Puppy, is just now hitting the tier 2. And yeah, you could push mid, but the March spam's already down. This is the trouble. Yes, you can kill him with the tornado. Rasmus could blink on top, but you have nothing to hunt the Tinker. There's no puck. There's no Monkey King. There's no Bat Rider. Nothing that can actually find Nisha as he plays these woodland corners.
Oh, well. At least tier 2s are something that's easy for them to get, and they'll get the last one that's on the map. But yes, when it comes to the high ground assault, it is definitely slow and steady for the Smashers. Oh, hey. What's going on, puppy?
Hey, buddy.
Trying to get some warding down? Don't think so. 11,000 net worth lead. Now, they showed a couple of heroes immediately. Secret, they tried to kind of poke at Ace, but they see Tofu's behind them. They're like, okay, okay. Just enough to push the Medusa back.
You know, win or lose, I'm not sure Secret are ever picking Tinker again.
Just because it's not fun for everybody else on the team?
It's not fun for poor Zion Puppy are just running down creep waves. Smashers, I'm sure, are slightly frustrated. One of the slower games we've seen this season, but you know, this is the strat. Hide in base. Nisha, push the waves.
He wants a ward up there. He was pinging it earlier.
We'll see. He got a huge smile on his face when they pick Tinker. We'll see what it is, what the expression is after the fact.
All right, Kyle. So these tree games, right? What would you say? I've been backing this idea for a long time. All right.
Okay.
You take rocket flare away from clockwork and you add it as a consumable, much like smoke.
Okay.
And so that gives you options to be able to play into high ground areas you don't have vision, or to be able to find heroes that play inside of trees. Gilger tries to go for the kill. Nice interception there with Rasmus. They may have lost Gilger, but they can still make a good use of this as Rasmus does set up for the Zai kill. And now that Ace is here, Secret are like, okay, that's it. We're out. BKB Matumba Man is gonna wear out here. He's gonna be slowed down by the Scotty, hit by the Medusa Snake as well. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it through for the laser. Oh god, the laser does a lot of damage. Rasmus, the last heat-seeking missile, he may have to blink that one out. Gyrocopter does go down, and Rasmus barely survives through it all.
Really well done, though. He saved a bunch of time. Thought for sure would have been able to save Monster. Yapsor somehow stole Stone Gaze. A little bit of... wait, do you steal Mana Shield still? Or was that was hotfixed a couple patches ago?
You don't steal mana anymore, but you do gain mana back on the Medusa.
No. If you toggle Mana Shields, is it stolen by Rubik?
Oh, yeah. You could still do that trick, I believe.
I swear I saw that being changed, but...
it could be.
Either way, so it's Schrodinger's mistake. Either Ace messed up, or Yapsor made a really good play. Who knows? Now, do you remember favorite Rubik steal of all time? FY grabbing Egg? Oh,
yes.
man.
Cloud9 versus Vici Gaming.
How long ago was that? That was his...
FY God. Yeah, that was... You know, it's good because, you know, it's a nice sound bite. FY God, much better than Bone 7. What a blunder.
Man. DD, Alacrity, Solar Crest. Medusa does a whole bunch of damage. She'll have Aegis. No slots left, but at some point he'll eat that Scepter. 3.5k gold in the bank. He'll actually eat the shard for himself.
Nice. So now he can send a Mystic Snake at the Tinker when he lasers him.
But he has to be targeted with the spell. So if it's cast on the illusion, still won't affect him.
Yeah.
And is that... Did he really get a headband on Tinker?
No.
Another 100 cast range. 100. So laser is 100, 225. That's 325, 400 from the shard. That's 725 plus 650. Twitch chat, do you have it right? That's 1375.
No, I'm currently doing. What? Currently looking at tier 5 items. 350 cast range on the Seer Stone. So, Puppy finds another courier.
We're 30 minutes away from tier 5 items.
Yeah, I feel like there's a 30% chance we get to that point, you know? It's all up to how Smashers perform here. Well, look at that win probability. It's totally in their favor. And I feel like it should be because, honestly, again, as long as they're just patient with it, they could just poke away at the tower. Nice Manta dodge to be able to dodge that stomp. Now still hit by the telekinesis, and Zai's like, oh god, I didn't expect that much damage. Now the Rubik's dead as well. Okay, entire team's dead.
Okay.
Stormer caught Nisha, so now it's GG.
Oh, they just caught.
All right,
All
GG.
right. Shout out.
to see a Tinker lose.
I think that might have actually been GG. Nisha had died without buyback, so Throne was going
Yeah.
to be exposed. But credit Secret as well. You can, they're just like, you know what, we're over this. This didn't work. We're done. Credit to Hellbear Smashers. Definitely big underdogs coming into this.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of challenge.